Hello, welcome to Gaming Gain. My name is Muzz, and today we are talking about John Wick 1 and John Wick 2. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Muzz, why are you putting these two films together? Surely they deserve, and it's smarter for you to break up the episodes or the reviews to get more views. That is what I tried to do. But unfortunately, this little rascal of a mic has been playing up recently. It, for whatever reason, just seems to die whenever it feels like, without any rhyme or reason. So if we get this video out, it's behaving. So basically, both my reviews, I had recorded them back to back. Kind of forgot about them for a wee bit because I've been recording other stuff and busy. Went to upload them. Kind of what I do is I just kind of edit it a wee bit, and I was like, "There's no sound towards the end," and it cuts out halfway through my first review, and I continue it into the second. It's just not, it's not ideal. So yeah, we're doing it back to back, and my memory may be a bit spotty on characters and events, but I'm just going to try and give you an overall feeling on both films. We'll start with John Wick 1, of course, and there will be spoilers for this, so click off the video now if you've not seen either film, which, just to give you a little hint of how you feel, I suggest you to go and do that. I think you should actually watch these films. They are very enjoyable films. John Wick 1 kind of starts on a sad note. John Wick loses his wife to, I believe it's cancer. I don't think it's actually stated that it's cancer. If it was, I probably missed it. And she leaves him a dog. And it's cute, you know, it's a lovely little puppy. And basically, he goes to fill up on gas and he comes across these yobs, these mob people. And then you've got the main rich kid, played by Alfie Allen, Lily Allen's brother, Theon Greyjoy in Game of Thrones. There's some media knowledge for you. And he is basically your typical mob rich kid, kind of thinks he's hard as nails, thinks he can get away with anything. Very stereotypical in that. And for whatever reason, he just decides to go and steal John Wick's car. And in the process of trying to do that, he kills the dog. And yeah, anybody who does that is an asshole, obviously. And that's what sets John Wick off on his revenge. Now, on paper, it's a very, very formulaic story. Like, there's no real twists or tricks in terms of the main plot. In terms of the side stuff, that's what intrigues me the most. Because initially I thought, oh, he's just this kind of trained killer, like it's just going to kind of be quite repetitive. No. There's a whole world of assassination, of assassins. And there's rules, there's places where they can stay, they've got their own currency, and this is where the film really, I think, gripped me in a sense of I wanted to see more than just the first one. And they do a lot of work. Well, they don't do a lot of. They give you little nuggets of like lore and backstory within this world, and it's just enough to go, huh? I want to see more. I definitely want to see more, and obviously it leads into the second film, which we'll get to. Another high point of these films, the first and the second one, is the action. Like, it is very different, very different to the Rambo film that I reviewed last time. The action is a bit more stylized, but it does still have the kind of like rough around the edges moments, which, like, where instead of being like, because it will go from like John Wick, like moving through a building, killing like 5, 6, 7 in a row, but then someone will grab a hold of him and it's a struggle and it's a bit more like back and forth. then John Wick will regain control, and then it's back to the kind of the more choreographed stuff, and it's really well done. Like, looks very nice. Keanu Reeves can still go, and on a word on Keanu Reeves, he is a handsome man, and he looks like exactly like he does in The Matrix. Like, it's mental that he is not aged. I need a secret, because wow, he's a good looking man. Anyway, off my man crush. Back to the film. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know if I need to say anything more on the first one, in sense of, um, I get done what I needed to do. I didn't think I enjoyed it as much as people had hyped it up. I think it was not overhyped, because I think some of it did look, but I didn't think the actual story, the main plot, what I think was a bit poorly done, because there's Alfie, I forget the name of, I'm going, Alfie Allen's character has a dad who's a mob boss, and he knows who John Wick is. The boogeyman, they say it in another language. I think it's, well, I don't want to guess now and make a fool of myself. Basically, they say the boogeyman in another language, and he knows what he can do, and yet he's still, obviously, to try and protect his son, even though his son is a bit of a dick and a bit of a mess up. Like, blood is thicker than water, so he's obviously going to protect him. And he ends up being the final boss, the final guy that John Wick kills, and I'm like, nah, I kind of wanted to see, like, Alfie Allen, although it's stereotypical, he plays it well. Like, he's a drunk, rich kid who can kind of get out, feels like he can get away from anything. And yeah, he kind of dies in this very quick sequence, and it's not really a satisfying kill. And then I wanted to actually see the dad survive, if I'm honest, but maybe they didn't know that they would have another film, so maybe they wanted to kind of finish it there. But yeah, overall, I still like the film. It still has some great qualities, and they definitely took what they learned from the first one and applied it to the second one, which, great segue into the second film. Oh, I should probably hold these up. John Wick 1 and John Wick 2. So, yeah, talking about John Wick 2, it's a better film. It builds on the world building of the first one. The action, I'd say, is on par with the first one, if maybe slightly better. But I think the plot is a lot more cohesive. It's a lot more easier to follow, and not that John Wick 1 was hard to follow. It's a nicer pace, and there's real kind of, I think, consequences to the actions of John Wick, and just again, the world building is so interesting. I love the world that they're creating of this world of a like. So we'll take you through the story, because there's a better story in this one. So, and I've forgotten the names of the characters, and I do apologise for that. But it's been over a week now since I've watched these films, so I'm having to do this off of memory. And I wish I could go back and watch them both, but I don't have time. Like, I'm doing this 10:15 at night, and I have work in the morning, so I apologise. But there's this character who comes to the house of John Wick and basically says, "You owe me," because he's got a marker which has John Wick's blood in it. So it's essentially a blood oath that John Wick paid to this guy, and now he owes him a favour, basically, and now the guy is calling in the favour, which is to kill his sister so he can get a seat on basically the head of the organisation of assassins. I don't quite know, they've not built it up that much yet, but so basically he doesn't want to do it. The guy shoots his house, destroys his house. Thankfully, no dogs killed in this one. The dog survived. Which when they done it again, I was like, surely they can't have killed another dog, but they don't. So John Wick goes to Rome, which if you've not been to Rome, I'd thoroughly recommend it. I've been. It's a lovely city, and he confronts the sister, but they have like a friendship almost, and she ends up killing herself. And John Wick puts a bullet in her just to kind of make it look like he'd done it. So of course the guy turns on John Wick, and then he's got a lot of people after him. The guy then puts a hit out on John Wick for, is it 4 million? 7 million. It's 7 million. And a lot of other assassins go at him. He gets pretty badly beaten up, but thankfully he returns to is it the concierge? It begins with a C. Basically, it's like a hotel for assassins. We're going to call it that. And there seems to be one in like every major city. And when you're in there, you can't conduct business. You can't kill people, basically, which is a key point moving forward. So then he ends up going after the guy and kind of cornering him. He's forced to run. He then gets back to the concierge where John Wick kills him in this sacred spot where there's rules. So, yeah, he has basically the manager of the place. I don't know why concierge is coming to mind, but I keep second guessing myself. It might be that, it might not be that. Of the hotel for assassins, we're going to call it that. He basically doubles the bounty on John Wick, but allows him time to get away before the hit goes out internationally. And usually I hate cliffhangers. Usually I think they are quite a weak thing to end on, but when I say I want to go out and buy John Wick 3, as soon as it ended, I wanted to go do that. That is how a good cliffhanger is done, because it's basically John against he's not going to get any of the services that he's been getting, like guns, tailor-made, bulletproof suits, all that good stuff. He is against... Make sure my mic's on. Hello? It's still on, thank God. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I had to make sure, because we're getting to the end. So yeah, it's an exciting. It excited me. It got me going. Like, yeah, I want to see this film. I want to see the sequels to these films. Which, I can see why there is a lot of them. It's a film franchise I should have got into a lot sooner. The action, like, you're not in this for the story, much like Rambo. You're in this to watch stylized fight. You see Keanu Reeves just doing his thing, doing his martial arts thing, doing his assassin thing. Like, that being said, I not to take away from the story, I think the world they're building is very interesting. I'm intrigued in the world of the assassins. That's definitely got me piqued. There's like well-known assassins, kind of people know John who are going after him. So yeah, it is definitely one that I am going to continue to kind of, obviously 3, I'll do a review on that, and then 4, and then there was the new one that came out in this year, which is in the world of John Wick, so I need to watch that. But yeah, like, just good films. Like, I've got a lot of Blu-rays, as you can see, and I've been trying to organise them into alphabetical order, because I'm OCD like that. But I've got a lot of films here that I would like to go through. Am I going to review every single one of them? Maybe not. But there's a lot to review. And yeah, this seems to be something that I can do on the regular, so I'm going to keep doing it. It feels good. It feels good to hopefully have finally recorded this video. Because let me tell you, when I went to upload them today, I had everything done. I was like, right, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to just chill, I'm going to relax. And then I checked, and I was like, oh my god, no! But here we are at the end. So, to wrap up the video, I like John Wick 1, I like John Wick 2 more than 1. I think they definitely had a foundation with this, and then they built on it with the second one. I hope 3 does the same, and I hope 4 does the same. I'm just looking forward to more action, more world building of the characters. Also, how can I forget one of the key scenes in John Wick 2 is Morpheus and Neo are back. They're not back because they're not playing those characters, but you have Keanu Reeves, and I remember the actor in the review, the single review, but I can't remember him now, so I apologise. But the actor who plays Morpheus, they're back together, and it just sent a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling of nostalgia through me. It was it was good to see. It was good to see, and I liked his kind of, because he's in the world of assassins, but it's like he's more a gang. So yeah, it was good to see. Anyway, with all that being said, all that's left to say is go watch John Wick. All that's left to say is any thoughts, comments, general hostile remarks, leave them below. Thank you very much. Bye bye.